Okay, so now let's take a review for homework 2. So in this homework, we covered chapter 5 and chapter 6. For these two chapters, we study the forward and also the two parities. So this homework will take the chance, to do some practice in these two chapters. The first question is asking for the 3 months forward rate. Forward bid and ask rates. For a spot rate, dollar against Canadian dollars is quoted as bid $0.7560 and $0.7625. And these two quotes are dollar to Canadian dollars. And this one is the bid. And this one is the ask. And if we are given the bid and ask quote, we can solve what? We can solve the bid and ask spread, right? Bid and ask spread, right? The formula is the ask price minus the bid price over, be careful, it's not over bid price, but over asking price times by 100%, right? So that's equal to the 0.7625 minus 0.7560 over 0.7625, right? So the answer will equal to 0.8524%, right? Less than 1%. So our bid and ask actually is very, close, right? They have very close numbers, right? The only difference maybe just on the second or third decimals. I will use the points, right, to represent, the difference. Right, the points is on the fourth decimals, right? The point, right, the 1 point equal to 0.001, right? So you can say our difference, right, for the bid and ask, right, is equal to what? 625 minus 560, right, equal to what? Equal to the 65 points, right? 65 points. That's the difference between the bid and ask price. In 3 months, right, the forward points are 12 to 16, right? Like I mentioned, the 12 actually is what? 0.00212, right? And for 16, similar, 0.0016, right? So our forward bid and forward ask should be what? Should be, for a bid should be the spot rate plus the change of the points for the forward, right? So that's 0.7560 plus 0.0012 equal to what? 0.757 what? 60 plus 12 equal to 72, right? That's for the bid. And for the ask, right, will be 0.7625, right, plus the change of asking price for the forward, that's 0.0016. So the total will be 0.7641, right? So that's the asking price for the what? Forward, right? That's how we use the points to derive the bid and ask, right, based on these questions, right? So what this number means, right? What these two numbers means, right? So on a spot market, right, we expecting, in 3 months, right, our bid price will go up to 0.7572, right? Our asking price will also increasing to what? To 0.7641. So in 3 months later, we expecting our, dollars to Canadian dollars will appreciate, right? Means our Canadian dollars will be what? Will appreciate, right? Will appreciate. Right, that's for the first questions. For the forward rate. The next questions, be careful. We have the short, right? We short forward. Short means what? Short means sell, right? So means our trader take what? Take short positions on this forward contract. Our current spot exchange rate is what? $1.55 per what? Per euro, right? This is euro, right? The 3 months forward rate is 1.5 per euro, right? And you enter into short positions on euro 1,000 euros, right? And the maturities, the spot exchange rate, happen to be what? $1.6 per euro. How much have you made or you have lost, right? So you need to first determine, have you made a gain or loss, right? Now what's the amount? What's the amount, right? Let's say the detail for these questions. For a spot, right, spot rate is $1.55 per euro, right? Our forward rate on time zero, right, this on time zero, right? Our forward rate, right, is 1.50 per euro. You can say our 3 months forward rate, right, for 1 euro is equal to $1.5. That means our dollar is what? Is getting down, right? Means our euro is what? Is depreciate. If you're expecting the euro will depreciate, most likely you will what? You will sell the euro, right? Because you think the euro will lose the value. If it is selling it, right? Selling means what? Means short positions, right? Short means sell, right? So you will buy short positions, right? For this euro contract. You short what? You short the euro for 1,000, right? For 1,000. If the market, right, has the euro continue depreciate like your expectations, you can still sell the euro, right, on maturities on the third month, right, for what? For $1,500, right, based on our rate in the contract, right? So if our euro continue lose value, right, based on your contract you bought on time zero, right, this forward contract, you can sell this 1,000 euro for $1,500. However, right, you can see in the questions on time 3, what's the actual rate on the third month, right? It's different from the rate on the contract, right? What's the rate on time 3 on the market? The spot rate on the time 3 is $1.6 per euro. Unluckily, you already signed a contract in the forward. You will sell 1,000 euro for $1.5, right, per euros, right? You get $1,500. But based on this rate, for the same 1,000 euro, right, you should get what? You should get $1,600, right? But you already signed a contract, it's only $1,500. So you lost what? You lost $500 or $100, right? As the difference, right? The difference between the $1,600 and $1,500. That's your loss, right? That's your loss. Next questions. It's for the forward premium. Our Swiss franc to the dollar's spot exchange rate is per dollars 1.25 Swiss franc. Our 180 days forward exchange rate is 1.3 Swiss franc per dollar. What's the forward premium or discount, right? The formula for the forward premium or discount should be, forward rate minus spot rate over spot rate times what? How many days in a year, right? Then over how many days in this forward contract, right? This forward contract has what? Has 180 days, right? So that means you actually rolling, right? This contract for how many times, right? So our spot rate is 1.25, right? Our forward rate is what? 1.3, right? Now you can solve what? You can solve our forward what? Premium, because our forward rate is more than the spot rate, right? So 1.3 minus 1.25 over 1.25, then times 360 over 180 equal to what? 2, right? So 0.04, right? Times 2 equal to 0.08, right? What's this one means? This one is what? Positive, right? Means our dollars while trading with our 8% premium to the Swiss franc and maturities on 180 days, right? For delivery days, right? For delivery days, right? Your dollar is trading with 8% premium. Next. Okay, so these questions you are very familiar, right? In class, we have done many examples for the triangular arbitrage, right? So that's the first questions we practice in this problem set for the triangular arbitrage. Right? Let's read the questions. You are US-based treasurers, right? In your hand, you have 1 million what? You have $1 million to invest, and you are given two rates in the US. One is the dollar to euro exchange rate is $1.5 per euro. The next one is what? $2 per pound. These two rates are in the US, right? And also a foreign bank give you a cross rate quote between the pound to euro, right? It's 1 pound equal to 1.25 euro, okay? So first, before you do the calculations, please you can do something to transfer these equal terms, right, to the exchange rate quote, right? For example, this one should be what? The dollar to euro equal to what? 1.5, right? So that means for 1 euro is equal to what? $1.5. That's our standardized format for the quote, right, in our class, right? Next one for this quote, right, means what? For 1 pound, right, equal to how many dollars? Equal to what? $2 per pound. Last one, right, is for 1 pound equal to how many euros? Right, equal to 1.25, right? And these two quote, right, is a US quote in the US bank, right? This is a quote in a foreign bank, right? So what's our step to solve the triangular arbitrage, right? You can say we already do this one in class, right? The first step, we must to solve a cross rate, use our US code, right, to compare with this rate, right, to see which currency in the US are underpriced, right? The other one should be what? Overpriced, right? So let's see the detail for these questions. Let's see the detail for these questions, right? So let me write down a three quote, right, in a triangular, right, for these problems, right, for these problems, right? The first one is the dollar to what? To euro equal to 1.5, and this one is the dollar to what? To the pound, right, equal to 2, right? And this one is a cross quote in a foreign bank, right? It's euro per pound, right? Equal to what? 1.25, right? So let's, take steps, right, to solve the quote, right? The first one, we need to solve what? we need to solve the implied cross rate, right, from our two US quote, right? And we need to solve the rate from the euro to pound, right? According to our step in class, we need to determine it is a divisions, right, or product or multiplications, right? Which one, right? You can say for both quote, we have the dollars on the top on the same side, right? So we will use what? We will use our divisions, right? And our euro should be on the top. Our pound is in the bottom, right? So should be what? Should be the dollar over pound, right? Divided by what? Dollar over what? Euro, right? In this case, then our euro in the divisions, right, will be, bottom to up, right? So you can say the dollar to the pound times, take a division means inverse of this quote, right? Will be the euro to the dollars, right? Dollar that can be cancelled out. So we have the euro to pound, right? So let's finish these calculations, right? This one is what? This one is a 2, right? Then 2 divided by this one is what? 1.5, right? So 2 divided by 1.5 equal to what? Equal to 1.35, right? 1.35, right? Sorry, 1.33, 1.33, right? So that's the implied cross rate. Use our two US quote, right? The next step, we will compare this one, right, with our foreign bank's quote, right, in the cross rate. You can see 1.33, right, is bigger than what? 1.25, right? And this quote is from the euro to what? To pound, right? And this is in the US. This is in a foreign country, right? So in the US, 1 pound equal to 1.33 euros, right? But in the foreign countries, right, for 1 pound is only what? 1.25 euros, right? So in the US, right, in the US, our pound, right, is what? Is more expensive, right? Because this one get what? Get more euros, right? So this one is overpriced, right? And accordingly, right, the euro should be what? Underpriced, right? Underpriced, right? So we can follow, these comparison results to design our strategy, right? We always what? We always buy low and what? Sell high, right? So we will what? We will buy euro and sell what? Sell the pound, right? Sell the pound, right? So that's our strategy, right? Okay, now let's go to the third step, right? Third step, right? So our third step is form a formal strategy to take a profit based on this triangle, right? We will first sell our dollars to buy something underpriced, right? So we sell a dollar to buy what? Euro, right? Then we will exchange the euros, right, to the pound, right, in a foreign bank, right, to get something overpriced, right? Then we will, get our dollars back, right, by selling something overpriced in the US market, right? So that's our strategy, right? So you can see our path for this strategy, right? Is first we use the dollar to get euros. It's this one, right? Then we will, from the euro to swap into what pound will be here, right? Last one we will selling our pound, right, to get our dollars back will be here, right? So our path is follow this way, right? So according to questions, right, we have what $1 million as our investment, right? So first one for $1 million we will get the pound, get euros here, right? So for 1 million, get how many euros will be $1 million, right? Then over what? Over 1.5, right? You see, $1.5 per euro. So we will divide by 1.5 to get what? How many euros, right? Next one, this one will exchange to what? To the pound, okay, in a foreign bank, okay? And you can see 1.25 euros per pound, okay? So this one then will divide by what? You will divide by 1.25, right? Get what? Get pound, right? Finally, for here, right, we have the, the pound to dollars, right? So it will be this one, right? Then times what? Times the 2, because for per pound, we get what? How many dollars, right? So we times the 2, right? Times the 2, right? Let's solve these numbers. And let's solve these numbers. So I have the $1 million, right? Divided by 1.5. Then also divided by what? Then also divided by 1.25. Finally times the 2, right? So what's the number you get? Finally, you get what? You get 1066, right? $666.67, right? So compare with your initial investment, $1 million, right? What's your net profit by using these arbitrage opportunities, right? Will be 66,000, right? $666.67, right? That's your arbitrage profit, right? From the very beginning, right? 1 million investment, you finally get this profit, right? By using this arbitrage, right? So that's for the first questions for the triangular arbitrage, right? Let's go to the next one. The next one, right? You also are what? Are US-based treasurers, right? You also start with what? $1 million to investment, right? The dollar to the euro exchange rate is quoted as what? $1.6 per euro, right? A dollar pound exchange rate is quoted as $2 per pound. And the foreign bank offer you a cross rate £1 per euro, right? So based on this three quote, how much money you can make, right? If you are astute trader, right? So let's form this triangle, right? So we always draw the triangle first. Right, the triangles we have this quote on the top, right? Dollar to a euro equal to what? 1.6, right? And dollar to what? To a pound equal to what? 2, right? And this one is a quote from the foreign bank. Is euro to what? To the pound, that equal to what? 1.2, right? So the first step, we will solve what? We will solve the cross rate, right? Use our 2 US quote, right? Is euro to pound, right? And then we will use what? Because the dollars are on the top for both quote, so we use what? We use divisions, right? With divisions will be the dollar to pound, right? Divided by what? Dollar to euro, right? So 2 divided by 1.6 equal to what? Equal to 1.25, right? Next, we will compare 1.25 with the cross rate in a foreign bank. So we will compare with the 1.2, right? We can say this quote is smaller than this one, right? So for the same pound in the US, you get what? You get more euros, right? But in a foreign bank, you get what? You get less euros. So in the US, right, the pound is what? Overpriced, right? And our euros, right, is underpriced. So we will always what? Buy something cheap and sell something what? Expensive, right? So we will sell the pound, right? So now we already, determine we will follow this strategy. Now we can use our what? Use our paths, right, in our graph, right, to show how can we make the arbitrage profit, right? So will be the dollar, right? First go to what? Go to the euro, right? Then you see we will buy the euro and sell the pound, right? So we need to first, right, swap the euro to pound, right? Then we will sell the pound, right? We will sell the pound, right, to buy our dollar back, right? So suppose we have the $1 million, right, to start this investment, right? The first one we will from a dollar to euro, right, is here, right, is this one, right? So for €1 equal to $1.6, right? So for $1 million will be how many euros? We need to divide by what? 1.6, right? Then we will swap the euro to the pound, right, in the foreign bank, right? And you can say for 1.2 euros, right, equal to 1 pound, right? So we will divide by what? 1.2 to get what? Get a pound, right? Last one we will get dollars back, right? For 1 pound we have what? $2, so we times the 2, right? That's our steps, right? So 1 million over 1.6, then divided by 1.2, then times 2, right? So the answer will be what? The answer will be, 1 million, right? 41,666.67 dollars, right? So you can say this is your what? This is your profit, right? The profit is the difference between what you get, right? Go through this arbitrage opportunity, right? That minus initial investment, right? So your profit is 41,666.67 dollars, right? That's your profit. Okay, so that's the questions for the triangle arbitrage question 2, right? For these questions you need to solve the profit, right? But for, in the last questions you are not required to solve this profit, but you need to show the path, right? But if you can solve a profit, you can confirm, right? Can you make a profit or loss, right? If you make a loss, means your path is wrong directions. You need to change your directions, right? So that's very important, right? But we always, follow this way, right? We buy something cheap and sell something expensive, right? That's how we form our strategy, right? How we form this strategy, right? The next question is for the cross exchange rate, right? What's the cross means? Cross means the rate will not including the dollars, right? So our given rate will both the quote involve the dollars, right? We will solve a second. We will solve the third rate, right? Without our dollars, right? So it's called a cross exchange rate, right? For example, here, right? €1 equal to $1.5, right? The other one is 1 pound equal to $2, right? We need to solve what? euro to the pound exchange rate. What's the euro to pound rate? Euro is this one, right? The pound is this one, right? That's our euro to a pound rate, right? And our given quote, right? This one is what? Is for 1 euro equal to how many dollars? Equal to 1.5. And for this one, right? Is for 1 pound equal to how many dollars? Will be 2. And you can see the dollars for both quotes are on top. So we will use our word derivations, right? What derivations will be dollar over what? Pound, right? Divided by the dollar over what? Euro, right? So we have the 2 over 1.5 equal to 1.33, right? 33. So for 1 pound equal to what? 1.3333 what? Euros, right? You can say that's our cross rate, right? So after you determine the derivations, right, you can say because our pound is in the bottom, right? So if the pound is already in the bottoms in the quote, right, then this one should be, in the first as the derivation terms, right? And you can see our, the euros is not in the bottoms, it's in the top, right? So we need to do some what? Inverse, right? Means our what? Derivations, right? Derivations, right? The next one still are questions for the cross exchange rate, right? But these times we have what? We have the both what? Bid and ask, right? Bid and ask. We did these questions before, right? Use a bid and ask quote, right? In class, right? These times we also given what? Given bid and ask between what? Between the Swiss franc to the dollars and the euro to the dollars, right? You see, both quote are US dollars equivalent, right? Equivalent. What's the US dollars equivalent? Means both quote, right? Use the dollar as what? Use the dollar as the pricing currency, right? And these two are what? Are base currency, right? The dollar is the pricing currency, right? These two are what? Are base currency, right? Base currency, right? So let's write down, the quote for these two rows, right? This one should be the dollars to what? Swiss franc, right? So let's use letters, right? Last time we used the symbols, right? Now let's use 3 letters, right? As we mentioned in class, for the exchange rate quotations, right? We can use both the symbol or we can use what? 3 letters, right? For example, this one should be the US dollars, okay? To Swiss franc, right? And for this one should be US dollars, right? To what? To the euros, right? To euros, right? And this is the US dollars to a Swiss franc for the bid price, right? And this is the US dollars to a Swiss franc asking price, right? Asking price. Okay, now let's say what's the question we want to solve. We want to solve a bid cross rate, right, for the Swiss franc priced in euro. Be careful, price in euro. So our euro is a pricing currency, right? And our Swiss franc is a base currency, right? So if you already, clear, right, what is pricing currency, which one is the base currency in the questions, you can always write down the quote easily, right? So it should be the EUR, euro to what? To Swiss franc, right? And you can say that's the cross rate we want to solve, right? And you can say if this one's 1 and this one's 2, right? Should we use the derivations or product, right? You can say because the US dollars, right, and US dollars are on the top for both quote, right? So we will use what? We use the divisions. Now we can cancel these US dollars, right? Use divisions, right? Should be 1/2 or 2/1, right? Let's say which one is already, match the format in the original quote, right? The Swiss franc is in the bottom, right? So that means the Swiss franc is matched with the place in the quote we want to solve, right? So we use 1/2, right? In such case, we have US dollars over, Swiss franc, right? Divided by US dollars, right? Over EUR. US dollars over Swiss franc, right? Times EUR, right? Over USD. Now US dollars can be cancelled out, right? So we use 1/2. So the first one is the quote here, right? Second one is the quote here, right? Be careful. We want to solve what? We want to solve the bid price, right? And we know if we use the divisions, right? We need to what? We need to cross. We need to do the cross divisions, right? So will be this way, right? Why we use divisions? Because we know we need to make the small become even what? Smaller, right? The big become even what? Bigger, right? Because there are two translation, right, of the currency, right? So bank will double charge the cost, right? So the spread should be even, bigger, right? So the bid should become even smaller, right? The ask should become even bigger, right? So only way is the bid divided by the bid price. Bid price should over the asking price, right? The ask price should be over what? Bid price, right? So for the bid quote, for this quote should be what? Right? Let's see how to solve it, right? For the bid price, right, based on our cross divisions, right, will be 0.7648, right? Over what? Over 1.4200, right? For the asking price should be what? Should be 0.7652 over what? Over 1.4000, right? So the bid price based on our divisions, right? If you solve that, right, equal to what? Right, equal to the 0.5386, right? Asking price, if you solve that, right, will be equal to 0.5466, right? So you can see the difference, right, getting even bigger, right, than original what? Quote, right? Right, so that's why we mentioned, right, small becomes even smaller, right, big becomes even bigger, right? So that's how we use our what? Cross what? Divisions, right? For the for divisions we must cross it, right? But for the product will be for the same side, right? For the same side. Okay, that's for these questions. Let's go to the next questions. These questions is for the spot exchange rate trading. A dealer in the British pound who think that pound is about to what? To depreciate, right? So he is expecting the pound will lose the value in the future, right? So how can he, try to reduce his loss, right? If he hold some pound, right? You can say it is a dealer, right? Dealer, like as we mentioned, is the guy holding the inventory of the currency, right? So basically, the dealer holding the pound, right, in his hand, right? Then he must to reduce his cost, right? If he is buying the pound to depreciate, right? He must to what? He must to reduce his what? His inventory, right? The bond, sorry, dealer holding inventory in the pound, right? In the pound, right? And how he reduce his inventory, right? He need to what? He need to lower his bid price and also asking price, right? Why? Let me show you some example, right? For example, right? The dollar to the pound, right? Spot rate now, right? The bid and ask spot rate, right? Is 1 point, for example, 25, right? 1.28. That's for the market, right? So market has the quote. Sorry, let's move to the last one, right? So for the market rate, right? The dollar to the pound has 1.25 as bid, 1.28 as ask, right? So how this dealer, right? How this dealer can sell his inventory quicker than the market, right? To reduce the cost, right? For example, right? The market willing to what? To buy what? Buy 1 pound using what? Using $1.25, right? But this dealer, right, singular pound will what? Will depreciate, right? Depreciate. He's not willing to buy this what? Buy this pound, right? So he only willing to pay less dollars, right? Less dollars, right? To buy this pound, for example, 1.23, right? Pay less dollars for the pound, right? So most likely, right? If he quote this like this one, right? Most other investors will go to the market, not to him, right? So this one will be not exactly 8, right? Because he only willing to pay less dollars for the same pound, right? But for the asking price, right? The market willing to sell 1 pound for what? $1.28, right? But the dealers, right? He willing to sell 1 pound only for what? $1.25, right? Selling something even cheaper than the market, right? So all the other investors found this one's what? More attractive, right? So they will take this one, right? So according to this quote, right? Our dealers will not buy any pound, right? But will selling the pound very what? Quickly, right? In such actions, right? He will reduce inventory what? In pound, right? He's not willing to buy the pound, but willing to sell the pound what? Quickly, right? So you can see both quote, right, are less than what? Are less than a market quote, right? So the dealers need to what? Need to lower his bid and ask, right? Compared with remaining of the market. The next one, the question 9, is for the interest rate parity, right? Interest rate parities, we have demonstrated this one in class, right? So 1 plus I dollars, right? Or 1 plus I euro, right? Equal to the forward rate, right? To the spot rate. The quote of the exchange rate should be the dollar to euro, right? Should be the same sequence you see in the in the ratio, right? Which one on the top in the interest rate should be also the top in the exchange rate. That should be matched. Be careful, right? So let's plug the numbers into these equations, right? You can see spot rate is what? 1.05, right? And then our interest rate from the US, right, is 5%, right? Our euro interest rate is what? 3%, right? Now let's solve our forward rate, right? Forward rate. So F over what? Over 1.05, right? Equal to what? 1 plus US interest rate 5% over 1 plus what? Euro interest rate 3%, right? You can solve what? Forward rate. 1.05, right? Times what? 1.05 then over what? 1.03, right? That's equal to what? Equal to $1.0704, right? Per euro, right? Per euro. Okay, as for the question 9, right, we have what? We have the covered interest rate parity, right, to solve our default rate. Next one, another question is for what? Covered interest rate, right, but here is for the arbitrage, right, and we mentioned this one in class, right, we have the case for the two countries, right, for example, if you have the $1, right, and in the US, you can get what? $1 times 1 plus US interest rate, right? That's how much you can get after 1 year, right? In what? In the US. In the foreign countries, right? For example, in the EU country, if there's no arbitrage, should be the same, balance, right? In the EU, right? What's the money? Should be first, if you have the $1 at beginnings, right? You need to exchange these dollars to euro, right? So we need to divide by what? Spot rate at beginning, right? Now we need to times what? 1 plus interest rate, right? In a euro, right? Then we need to what? We need to get our money back from euro to what? To dollars, right? So we times what? Times the forward rate, right? So forward rate means you already signed a contract, right? And the beginning of the year, right, to hedge our exchange rate risk, right? So that's why we call this one as what? Covered. And so we already signed a forward rate contract at beginning, right? So if there's no arbitrage, these two should be what? Should be equalized, right? So 1 plus dollar equal to what? 1 over S times 1 plus euro, right? Times F. So F will be here, right? So F over S, right, should be equal to 1 plus dollar, right? Both sides divided by 1 plus what? Euro, right? So that's our formula comes from, right? That's our covered interest rate parity. We studied in class, right? Now let's solve our what? Let's solve our 1 year interest rate, right? In the Eurozones, right? That means this one, right? Given these three, right? Let's plug the numbers into these what? Equations, right? So why I show these steps? Because I want you not memorize this formula, right? But you can derive this one based on no arbitrage, right? Opportunities between these two countries, right? So based this one we call what? No arbitrage covered interest rate parity, right? So let's plug the numbers into the these equations, right? What's R dollar? R dollar is 5%, okay? So 1 plus 5%. And this one is one you want to solve. Euro, right? Equal to what? Forward rate. Forward rate. 1 year forward rate is $1.16 per euro. What's the spot rate? 1.2. Right? Spot rate is 1.2. Now let's solve this one, right? So euro equal to what? 1.05 times 1.2 over what? 1.16. Line what? Line minus 1. Okay? So if you follow these steps, right, the answer will equal to what? 8.62%. So our Eurozone's interest rate, if there's no arbitrage, right, should be 8.62%. Okay, next one, right, still the interest rate parity, right? If you saw any questions about interest rate parity, I suggest you to write down the formula first, right? The formula should be the forward rate over spot rate equal to 1 plus R, right? The rate should be in the domestic, right? So it's in the US, dollar, right? Or 1 plus R, right? In the Germany. In Germany's, right, we use in the euro, right? So you have a euro interest rate, right? Let's say what's the question you want to solve. You want to solve the spot exchange rate. To solve this one, right? And then the other three should be given, right? What's the forward rate? 1.16, right? What's the dollar's interest rate? 5%, right? What's the euro's interest rate? 3.5%, right? So what's the spot rate? 1.16, right? Times 1.035 over 1.05, right? So that's our spot rate. Equal to what? $1.1434 right per euro. That's our spot rate, right, in these calculations. Next one is our second parity, right, in chapter 6. Right, in chapter 6, we have the two parity. One is interest rate parity, right? The other one is for the purchasing power parities, right? And for these purchasing power parities, let me write down the formula, right? Forward rate over spot rate equal to 1 plus the pi means inflation rate, right? Inflation rate in the US, right? Over 1 plus inflation rate in what? For example, here is in the foreign countries, what is EU country, European countries, right? So over inflation in the EU, right? So let's say a question I want you to solve. What is 1 year forward rate? That should prevail, right? So that's the forward rate you want to solve, right? Our spot rate is what is given, right? $1.25, $1.25, right? Per what? Per euro, right? So this is 1.25, right? What's the interest rate in the dollar? 2%, right? What's the interest rate in the euro? 3%, right? So I have the forward rate equal to what? 1.25 times 1.02 over what? Over 1.03, right? So that's equal to what? That's equal to 1.2379, right? Dollar, right? Per what? Per euro, right? That's our purchasing power parities, right? To determine our what? Our 1 year forward rate. Question 13, right, is for the efficient market approach, right? There are different approaches to study foreign exchange rate, right? We can use the fundamentals approach, or efficient market approach, or use what? Or use the technical study approach, right? So this one is for efficient market approach. So efficient market approach, we're assuming the market is what? Is efficient, right? If market is efficient, means the market absorbing all the informations, right, from the today's market, right? So means our random walk hypothesis hold, right? So in a efficient market approach, right, all informations, right, will be reflected in our exchange rate, right? So once any event happened, right, new informations will always what? Will be reflected in our exchange rate, right? So our best predictors of the future rate, right, is our current exchange rate, right? Because our current rate is already absorbing all informations, right? So if a market is efficient, right, so whatever happened in the market is already reflected in the today's what? Market, right? There's nothing hidden from the public, right? Everything known to one trader should be also known to all the other traders, right? So that's why you can say our efficient market approach will assuming a random walk, right? The price will absorbing all informations, right? So our current rate, right, is also a good predictions for what? For the future what? For future exchange rate. And that's called efficient market approach. The 14 questions, right, we try to study what? another approach to study what exchange rate, right? It's called a technical approach, right? So why I call this one as technical? Technical actually is a very popular approach, right? Study the financial assets, not just for the foreign exchange. It's also very useful to study the stock price, right? In our stock price and the foreign exchange, right? Traders sometimes can looking into our technical chart to determine what's the price change in the next period, right? Even this approach will be not acknowledged in academic field. However, this one is very useful in the industry, right, to determine the price of the foreign, exchange or stock price. For example, we can compare with our moving average, right? Moving average, right? So this approach we will compare with two moving average. One is short-term moving average, right? The other one is what? Long-term moving average, right? So let's see the detail, right? Let's see detail. If you only read this sentence, cannot help you to capture what this one means, right? Let's see the detail. Let's see the detail. For example, right? There are two moving average. One is a short-term moving average. The other one is a long-term moving average, right? The short-term is for what? For the 50 days. Long-term is for the 200 days. Right? So what's the difference means? Means for any, for any continuous 50 days, right? We will solve what? We will solve average price, right? So from 1 to 50 days, right? We solve our what? For these 50 days total, right? We solve our average. Then from second date, right, to the 51st date, we solving another what? Average price, right? So we put this price into the dot, right? We form this, short-term moving average, right? Moving average curve, right? Sorry, the this black curve is for the short-term moving average, right? And our blue curve is for the 200 days moving average. It's also called a long-term moving average, right? So why this one is the long term? Because you see, for any 200 days, I mean from the first day, right, then to the 200 days, for the total 200 days price, 1 2 3 4 until 200, you solve an average will be the first dot. Then from the second date to the 201 days, right, you solve another average will be a second dot, right? So you continue to solve the 200 days average for any 200 days continuously, right? Then you have this blue curve, right? That's for the long-term moving average, right? So how the traders can use this chart to do the investment? You can see here, right? If the short-term moving average, right, cross the long-term moving average and above it, right? You can see here, right? Our short-term moving average cross the long-term moving average and above it, right? That means it is a golden cross point, right? What's mean the golden cross? Means our asset will be very possible to appreciate, right? So the price will going up, right? So if you happen holding this asset, you will keep holding it, right? If you don't hold it, you will buy it, right? This is a good time to buy it, right? To enter the position for this asset, right? Either for the currency, right? Or maybe for the stock, right? This one both works, right? For any financial asset, right? Display this trend, right? In the opposite, right? If the long-term moving average cross the short-term moving average on the above, right? That means it is a death cross, right? Death cross means the price will continue going down, right? It's very possible to going down, right? So that's our two moving cross, right? To help us to determine it's a good time to buy it, a good time to sell it, right? To sell it, right? I see the detail. I see the detail for these two cross. Right? You can say this one is graph forward for the first energy, right? For the first energy, right? And you can say this blue curve, right, is short-term moving average, right? And this red curve is what? Is 200 days, right? 200 days long-term moving average, right? And you should pay much attention if you saw this pattern, right? And this, this bar chart, right? This bar called what? Called a candle chart. Right? The candle means the trading volumes, right? For different days, right? For different days, right? You can see at beginnings, right? Our what? Our moving average two curves, right? Showing our what? A downward trend, right? A very strong downtrend, right? And when the price, show the cross, right? The cross means what? Means our short-term moving average, right? Cross the long-term moving average, and to the above, right? Is the pink, circle here. That means it is a golden cross, right? So after this, downward trend, right? It's very possible our price will now return to opposite, means the price of the stock or foreign exchange will going to what? Going to the up, right? So you can say for the first energy, right, for this stock, right, after this golden cross, right, the price is moving up, right, moving up, right. So it's a very good point to buy the stock, right, buy the stock, right, buy the stock, right. You can see the stock continue moving up, right, after this golden cross point, right, show up even stronger bullish trend, right, for for more than a few days, right? So the stock actually went on, right, from this golden cross, right, to about what? About 10% gain, right? Just for a few days, right? So you can say if you are a short-term trader, right, maybe you can use this cross dot, right, to determine why it is at the good time to buy and sell it, right? Let me show another example. Use Facebook, right? In this Facebook, right, we have a historical chart, right, shows the Facebook price in 2018, right? You can see this graph actually show what both cross and same times, right? So on the end of April, right, the short-term moving average, right, cross what? Cross the long-term moving average, right? So sorry, the long-term moving average, the blue curve, right, is above the short-term moving average, right? So this one's death cross, right? So that means our price for what? Will shows what? Shows a downward trend, right? So our price, right, is going to a downward, right? Until, right, the short, moving average cross the long-term moving average and above it, right? So these ones are golden cross, right? Means the Facebook price possibly to show a rally, right? Then be careful. Once again, right? If you see the moving average of the short term, right, below the long-term moving average, right, and cross it, right, it's also a signal forward. That's cross, right? So price will continue going down, right? So if you are a good trader and you know the pattern, right, maybe now is the time for you to not hold it and to sell it, right? To avoiding what? To avoiding the further cost, right? To avoiding the further loss, right? If you see what? That's cross, right? So let me explain, right, why these two golden cross and the death cross can work for the for the traders, right? So this golden cross and death cross is from the experience, right? All the technical chart is from the from experience, right? And the technical chart assuming our market is not efficient. Right? Same thing happened before will also maybe happened in the future. Right? So history will repeat itself. Right? It actually, actually this one is not consistent with our efficient market hypothesis, right? If market is efficient, right, history will be just history, will never repeat, right? But technical approach assuming our market is not that efficient, right? So anything happen in the future, happen in the history can also happen in the future, right? So that's why we can use the historical pattern to determine, right, what's the trend for now or in the future, right? So that's why we use experience to find out, right? There are two clouds, right, to show the pattern, right? One's a golden cross, one's a death cross. Why? Because our short-term moving average will be more sensitive, right, to the price change. Right? Because this is for short term, this is for long term, right? So if you see the short term, right, the price moving quickly, right, then long term average, right, even to the top, right? So means the price for this stock or currency will be very possible to appreciate. But if you see the short term, right, moving quickly down compared with the long term average, means our price will be possibly to depreciate, right? To depreciate. So that's for the two cross rate, right? So I hope you can use this technical, right, to capture some good trading point, right, when you're trading a stock or trading a currency, right, in the future. Next one is also a very classical and popular pattern, right? In a stock and in a currency, we call it in the head and shoulders pattern, right? And you can see here, if you see the curve for the price, right, in the currency or in the stock, right, showing the pattern with the head and the two shoulders, right, means the trend will always to reverse. So once you detect there's a head and shoulders, right, in the middle of the price trend, right, so the price trend and beginning, right, will be reversed after you have this head and shoulder pattern. Right? Let's see some examples. Right? For example, right, this is the Australian dollars to US dollars chart. Right? And you can see and beginnings, right, Australian dollars per dollars. This Australian dollars to US dollars. Right? To US dollars. Right? Right? So what that means? Means for one Australian dollars, right, equal to how many US dollars, right? So Australian dollars is our base currency, and this is our pricing currency. Be careful. That's a quote we see in a website, right? We show in the class before, right? You can open the Bloomberg, right, or Google, right? They have the same quote. This quote is different from the quote in our textbook, right? Means for one Australian dollars, right, equal to how many US dollars, right? And you can see at beginnings, right, this quote is outward, very volatile, right? It's changing upward and downward, right, with the time, right? Now we can detect a head and shoulder pattern, right? One head and one shoulders, right? Left shoulder and right shoulders. If you see these patterns, right, the price will reverse the trend. Right? So before the head shoulder patterns, right, the price is moving up, right? Then after these patterns, the price will moving down, right? Will reverse, right? And you can see from here, right, to right here, right? For one Australian dollars, you get more US dollars, right? So for this part, Australian dollars appreciate, right? But for this part, Australian dollars is continue depreciate, right? Then for this part, another head and shoulder pattern. But be careful, these are inverse head and shoulders, right? And this is our, head, and this is our two shoulders, right? So if you see this pattern, means our price will also reverse after it, right? So now Australian dollars should be what? Not depreciate, but appreciate, right? For this part, right? So this one actually show you a very classical head and shoulder patterns, right? For the two currencies, right? If you detect a pattern like this way, most likely our quote will be what? Will be reversed, right? The trend will reverse, right? From the appreciation to depreciation, or from depreciation to appreciation, right? Be careful, right? How can you detect it is a head shoulder pattern or not? You should be very, very careful, right? It must be, exactly same as our human head and shoulder, right? Should be the one head and what? Two shoulders, right? If you see more than two shoulders on one side, right, it's possibly not a pattern, right? So you cannot use that one to tell the investors the trend will be what? Will be opposite. Be careful, right? You see, if it is a head shoulder, right? Right? Like there will be no pattern like this way, right? This one should be stopped, right? Now we have a, we have a necklines, right? Then the price will continue going down here, right? However, if a price, showing more shoulders, right? So that means our trend will be not what? Go toward opposite, right? Opposite. So our head and shoulder patterns is not complete until the neckline is what? Is broken. It's broken, right? If not broken, right, it's actually, break what? Break the supportive lines, right? Then our trend will be not go toward downside. Be careful, right? So you must to be very careful. If you not detect exactly as head shoulder patterns, right, just very similar, right, it will not give you the story. The trend will go to reverse, right? It will maybe continue to bounce back and down, right? That's our homework, right? That's our homework.